She is responsible for bringing a field that was held in relative obscurity in Sri Lanka to prominence. A behind-the-scenes worker, her expert advice and diet programs have changed thousands of lives. She is also an author and lecturer, taking the field of weight loss management to newer and numerous audiences. ETV Power Women proudly presents Sigrid de Silva. Hi and welcome to ETV Power Women. Today on the show we have with us a guest who's changed many lives through fabulous nutritional advice. She's also an author. Welcome to Power Women, Sigrid de Silva.
Thank you for having me.
Sigrid, I'm going to ask you, how did you come to live in Sri Lanka and to practice here? How did that all happen?
It's actually a very long story,
okay.
and it was not an easy path.
Yeah.
I studied in Germany, and I studied to be a dietitian in Germany also.
Right.
And I worked in Germany for some time.
Okay.
And in the meantime, I met my husband, who is from Sri Lanka.
Okay.
He at that time lived in UK, in London. Right. So then I moved to UK, and I worked there as well.
Okay.
And then because of family business and because of my father-in-law, when my father-in-law expired, we decided, and then we had our first daughter.
Right, okay.
That was also in London.
Yeah.
And then we decided to go to move to Sri Lanka.
Okay.
Now this is some time ago.
Yeah.
And initially when I came to Sri Lanka, I really didn't think I would work, so I would work actually.
Okay.
I had been working for about 10 years by then, and having a small child and having a home to renovate also, I was very busy. And working did not come to my mind, especially also because we were living in a rural area where nutrition was extremely healthy, and I didn't see a problem anywhere there. And only later, once the children, in the meantime, I had another daughter, Annika. First daughter is Berit. And after some years, I realized a lot of changes happening in Sri Lanka. Lifestyle changes, diet and nutrition changes, and what types of foods were suddenly available, which had never been available before. And I know it seems for all young people, it seems really odd that so many things we didn't have that time. But today I feel it was
much better.
It was a good thing because we were limited in choice, but sometimes it is better if we are limited in choice, because then it's easier to make the correct choices also, especially if you have less information or if you have less knowledge. And I realized that there may be a need existing. And then I saw an advertisement in the paper that a dietitian or a nutritionist was wanted by a private hospital, and that was the first time it really sort of struck me.
Okay, there
is a need. I mean, it is not just that I feel there is a need, there is definitely a need. And that was sort of the first seed planted that I would really love to work. But then I faced a major obstacle that as a foreigner, as a foreign passport holder, as a spouse, we are not allowed to work here. Maybe, I think now it has changed, but at that time we have a stamp in our passport saying that we cannot work voluntary nor any other work.
Really? Even voluntary?
Not even voluntary.
Wow, okay, so nothing.
It was really, so means nothing. So Lions, Rotary, etc. We were not supposed to work. Of course, it took a long time till I had it all sorted out, because actually the Ministry of Health will have to recommend me to the control of immigration to change that in the passport. But in the meantime, I didn't think that was illegal. I had started writing for Lanka Women. I thought I had spoken to Mrs. Claire Seneviratne. I said, do you think I
could contribute?
Could we have a column on diet and nutrition? And she said, yes, why not? And this is how I also re-entered into the profession, like, because I had to relearn also.
Right.
A lot of things had changed. Yes, I had stepped away, and a lot of things had changed. Okay, I got to know Sri Lanka, but in the meantime, things had happened also in the field of medicine, etc. Then once I got the permission to work, I thought I would start in a very difficult way, because that is the best way to get to know everything and dive into the deep end. And I started at Base Hospital. At that time it was called Base Hospital Negombo.
Right, okay.
Where, of course, I was very well aware that I have to also speak in Sinhalese.
Yes.
Because I would say at least 9 out of 10 of the patients would be only Sinhalese speaking patients, sometimes Tamil, sometimes English. And that is where I started on in the diabetes clinic, giving advice for diabetics actually. From there onwards, there was more and more demand, I realized, and that's when I started at the same time also at a private hospital in Negombo. And the demand became more. And I tell you quite frankly, I really didn't think that I would work as much as I have worked up to now, because I really wanted this to be more of okay, I'm a homemaker, I'm a mother, and a little bit of work on the side that will be lovely.
Part-time sort of.
Yes, sort of part-time, and then there's a lovely balance in my life also.
To everything.
But and it very fast, then I started work in Colombo, I started work with One Day in Colombo. Then the director of the hospital said,
to see more of you.
Yeah, 1 day is also no point, you should come 2 days. And then I came 3 days to that hospital, then another hospital requested, could you not come here also, etc., etc. So that's how it expanded really rather rapidly.
That's a brilliant point for us to take a break. I think it's lovely to actually hear about how you came. We're going to take a short commercial break. So for everyone watching at home, don't go anywhere. We're going to be back after this little break with more from Sigrid. So we'll see you soon. Welcome back to ETV Power Women. If you missed the first half, we're talking with Sigrid de Silva. Sigrid, tell me a little bit about your work as a dietitian, what it involves, and just tell us a little bit about it. Maybe people at home might not be that aware of what you do.
It involves, well, initially it involved more about nutrition and dietetics. What it involves for me is that I design a suitable diet specific for the individual. What the needs are for the individual. Person. And today what it also involves more and more, I mean not more and more, it involves it so much more than those days, the change of lifestyle. Because lifestyle is sometimes the bigger problem than the nutrition and the diet itself. So that that I would try to change the settings according to the individual. But this would be in an individual setting. Really, I would like to create more awareness, and I will use any platform really possible to create more awareness for everybody. And once you have created awareness, then the thirst or the need for knowledge is there also. And from there onwards, you can actually go towards the education. And then I find fertile ground for education. And then once the education and the understanding and the acceptance and everything has sort of set foot or set in, then it is nice to have an empowered person.
Someone who really knows.
And that's what I would really like to do, that not only 1 or 10, that people can empower themselves to be able to act according to what is necessary for themselves. Of course, sometimes individuals do need to see a dietitian, do need to see a nutritionist, do need to see physicians, but whichever specialist is necessary. But if the foundations are laid, so much can be prevented also. And my heart is really set on awareness and prevention.
And I mean, do you think, because I understand that you also occasionally do lectures and stuff, Is that part of,
that would be part of the awareness and the prevention. Because if I do lectures for medical students regarding on what is necessary and regarding also on what does it mean a dietitian, a nutritionist, then also doctors to be, medical professionals to be, will understand of the importance of what role diet and nutrition plays, what role lifestyle plays. However, diet and nutrition and lifestyle change requires so much more. It requires so much more because it's so much, and it's so much more difficult. For some people, it is very difficult to adhere to, and you have to get the mindset right, not only of the individual may be concerned, but of the whole environment and of maybe also the family.
And I wanted to ask you, because I know you've just written recently finished your book. Tell us a little bit about it. It's Losers Are Winners. And tell us a bit about the process and how long it took you to write it, and just give us a little...
with this I wanted to also create awareness and then giving the knowledge so that a person doesn't necessarily, not everybody has got the chance to visit me, so that a person can see, can go through the book and can do the diet perfectly on his or her own.
Right.
And many have done so, and I've seen some results. I mean, I know the people, but they have not visited me actually as a patient or as a client. They have not visited me, and sometimes I just sort of recognize the voice.
And you're like,
there's such a major, such a change, because they really did read it from beginning to the end, and they have understood, because everything was read also and absorbed. They have understood how to maintain weight there afterwards. Because Losers Are Winners is a book about weight reduction and weight maintenance, or it's about effective weight loss and weight management thereafter. I wanted it to be foolproof. Means in the sense I wanted to sort of like plug all sort of like possibilities, and where a person may be able, where a person may go wrong,
where they can slip back into
and I would want to address every eventuality.
Wow.
And I'm a little bit of a perfectionist there. I think it's showing through. And so it took me 4.5 years to write.
Fabulous.
Yeah, it took me a long time to write.
But you got it.
I think it's okay. I think I'm happy with the result.
Good.
So I think I'm happy. I hope others will also be happy with the result. And it is very, very doable. And as I said, I've seen great success story. Yeah, great. Well, as I said, not everybody can come and see me. And why not? When you are empowered to do something, why not make use of that? In the meantime, I've just completed my second book, which did not take...
Wow. Which didn't take 4.5 years.
Which did not, obviously not take 4.5 years. And Losers Are Winners has been in the market now for just over 2 years. Just finished literally the second biggest problem in Sri Lanka, or in suburban and urban Sri Lanka. There is diabetes wellness management. Right. Because diabetes, as I mentioned also earlier, type 2 diabetes is, especially type 2 diabetes is associated with overweight, lifestyle, obesity, and therefore, naturally, that is the second biggest problem, and I wanted to address that as soon as possible.
Right, we're going to take another little break, but again, don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back after this short break, so we'll see you soon. Hi, you're watching ETV Power Women on your lifestyle channel, ETV. I'm now going to ask you a little bit about what you were like as a child, Sigrid. Were you very aware as a child of eating healthy, and were you quite sort of health conscious and healthy as a child? Did it kind of stem from there? Or?
Yes, I have 2 younger brothers.
Right.
And we grew up on an island in the North Sea in northern Germany.
Okay, how lovely.
And the island has, during the decades, has between 1,000 and 2,000 inhabitants.
Okay, so
and
nice
everybody used to grow their own vegetables.
Yeah.
We had our own fruit. I don't think there was a vegetable not by my mom, which we didn't have. We had all sorts of vegetables. There was nothing what we didn't have. And then, of course, during the winter season, we need to store vegetables. So
Yeah.
I've really learned from childhood how to store vegetables like potatoes and carrots, and or deep freeze and blast freeze, etc. Peas, etc. And we were sort of pretty much self-supplied. We had a dairy farm, so we grew up in a farm environment, and it was a lovely, lovely, carefree childhood. And naturally, with this type of environment, we ate healthy. We ate totally everything homegrown. We had a really great time as children. I stayed there till the age of 13. And then my father bought another farm on the mainland. So then we moved to the mainland. And there things were a little different, but of course mom kept on doing her vegetables, and dad also our fruits, etc. And so we were also there fairly self-supplied.
Sigrid, tell me a little bit about your children, because what I have to say I find really fascinating is that they all studied in the Sinhalese medium as well.
Yes.
You know, and which would have
they did their schooling in Sinhalese. Well, I tried to, since we live rural. I mean, now I live in Colombo during the times I'm working. But other than that, I try to spend some time in semi-rural Katana. One can say now it's only semi-rural. It's not that rural anymore. I try to give a little bit of that upbringing also to give it to my children. So. The vegetable growing was a disaster. Because here, of course, everything grows nearly too well. I mean, everything was. I brought all the seeds from Germany, and everything was shooting up like Jack and the Beanstalk type of thing. And then also we had a lot of time. I didn't want to apply any type of chemicals. And finally, all the crops went to the caterpillars, etc. So that I must say that was a bit of a disaster. But we have a lot of animals, and we had a lot of animals. I raised chicken. We have cats. We have dogs. Tortoise, we had tortoise. Then when we were plucking coconuts, sometimes a small squirrel, a baby squirrel will fall out of the nest, and the mom will not collect it because the nest is also gone, I suppose. And so we will raise the baby squirrel. And those days were also, we used to go to nightclubs, and I would take the squirrel we have this waste paper. Yes, waste paper basket. These woven waste paper baskets. That's how I made the squirrel's home. Now, squirrel needs to be fed very often.
So
I used to go to the car park of the nightclub and feed the squirrel with an eye drop bottle every hour. But the squirrels were raised. I was not really lacking work. It was just a different type of work. So I tried to give that environment to the children, back to the children.
A little bit of your childhood.
Yes, I feel it's
important.
If we have the space, we can do it. Today, of course, lack of space is sometimes not everybody can do that. I understand that.
Right, on that note, we're going to take another little break. We're going to hear from your children when we come back. We've spoken to some of your friends and family, and they're going to say a few words to you. So we've got that to look forward after this short little break, so don't go anywhere. We'll see you soon. Welcome back to ETV Power Women. We're about to take a look at the confession cam. So it's actually my favorite part of the show because I think it's just lovely to hear what your family have to say about you. So why don't we take a look at it now? It's on the screen over there.
Okay.
First of all, Mummy is a very dedicated person, although most might know that. From our childhood, since Aki and I were born, she stopped working and she put all her knowledge and her passion to work aside and dedicated all her time for the two of us. When we came home from school near the gate, Mummy would be always there waiting for us to greet us with a big smile, and I would say that made us have a very happy childhood, and we loved her in every way, in the sense she would make our birthday parties so creative. And no other mother would do it. She was, of course, from Germany, so it was a bit different. Children used to sometimes stare to, you know, how it is. And she used to make the parties exciting and make them more fun than, you know, whatever. Okay, and Mummy used to always also be concerned about our health a lot, especially when it came to food. So sometimes on the table there was stuff that children did not like mellung, all the green stuff. So we used to be like, Mommy, we don't want to eat that. And she would say, well, if you don't want to eat that, you can either go to bed or I can make you a tanakola mellung. It's either those two options. So we said, okay, we'll eat. So in the end, she made sure that we ate healthy, and we are forever grateful for that, of course. She's a very bubbly personality. She sees everything from different angles. We tend to see things most of the time just from one angle, and she doesn't have this stereotypic view on people or on things. Her friends or her colleagues or we as her children, no matter what problem we have or what question we have, we can always go to her, in the sense whether it's a problem with renovating our house, or whether it's a problem with our pets, or whether it's a problem with friends or whatever. She always has a solution because she looks at things from different angles. When we were children, she did not work at all. Her whole time was dedicated to my sister and myself. And once I finished O-levels, she started to work. And that dedication to her work, she puts all things aside now that my sister and myself are married. Her patients are her #1 priority, and she gives her fullest. Her whole time is dedicated to her patients, and she does it with such a passion.
For me, she's not your typical Westerner. I mean, you would look at a German lady, you would think, all right, she's strong, let's say rigid, or you can say she's rigid, or let's say career driven and all this stuff. But for me, she's totally different. She is that, right? She is very strong-minded, she's very independent, she does her things all by herself. But I guess it's the let's say been here since 1980s or something that I made her more or less a Eastern mom also. She's very compassionate, and she's very sensitive, and she's very protective. You can say she's almost overly protective of her children also. A typical lioness, you know. Strong when you need to be strong, and of course gentle and kind when she needs to be. She doesn't actually mingle work with family. Yeah, she hasn't come up to and say, hey, you know, you seem to look sick, or you're a bit plump or whatever, you know, try and get a diet. You know, she keeps her work life and her private life separately. Of course, her work life made her what she is today, right? There's one of the strong ladies of the country, you know, a prominent figure in this country.
That was
Okay. Yeah, no, which is, I think, why this is my favorite part, because it's really nice to see what, you know, your family think of you, and I hope you enjoyed it.
Yes, yes.
We're going to take another small break, and when we come back, I'm going to ask you a series of 10 questions. We call it sort of, you know, our dreaded 10. So we've got that to look forward to after the break, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to ETV Power Women. We've come to the final part of the show, the part where I ask you those dreadful questions.
Now psychological influence is working.
So I'm just going to get right into it. Right, question number 1. What still annoys you about Sri Lanka?
Litter.
How do you gently tell somebody that they're overweight? I mean,
I think the people who would come to see
Know
me,
that
they know it in any case. So I don't, and out of, like it was said earlier, out of my work sphere, I would not go and tell anyone, I think you're overweight or you're obese or don't eat this or don't eat that. No.
Okay, this is a bit of an odd one. Have you ever taken drugs?
You mean drugs as in drugs?
Yes.
For medication?
Not for medication,
Never,
for the purpose
never.
of...
And that, no, it's not. I think it's a very good question. Simply for the reason I was scared that I may lose control.
Okay. What makes you go back to work every day? Where do you get your drive from?
Yes, like I motivate people, I also need motivation, actually. My patients are my motivation, and when I have achieved something, I'm so happy.
Who would you say is your biggest hero?
I don't think I could say
one person.
One person. Okay. There are many.
How would you react if you woke up one morning and suddenly found yourself 100 pounds heavier? What would your first reaction be?
Wow, what a question. I would go back to bed or back to sleep and dream on the dream or the nightmare.
What is the one thing you absolutely hate?
Environmental pollution in general.
Yeah.
Because we have got a beautiful country here. We've got a beautiful earth. And we
we're just wrecking it.
We shouldn't destroy what we're having, and we should appreciate what we're having and should try to maintain the way it is. I mean, not the way it is, but make it a better place.
Make it better,
yes.
No, absolutely. If you could meet anyone dead or alive, who would it be?
Oh, I really don't know. There are many people who I would have liked to meet.
What is the one thing that you've done in your life that if you had a chance to undo, you would undo it?
Yeah, I think a lot of people think about that question.
Yeah.
There were times that I would have wanted to undo things.
Yeah.
But finally, the way it has all worked out today, I think maybe that's the way it was meant to be.
Okay. Finally, what's the simplest advice that you give your patients?
Look after yourself.
Yeah.
Take care.
Sadly, we've come to the end of the show, so I've got to say thank you very much, Sigrid, for coming on.
It was a pleasure being here.
And it was a lot of fun, and I hope you enjoyed it. And thank you.
Yes,
thank you for coming.
I really enjoyed that. Thank you for having me.
Great. And for everyone at home, don't forget, we've got a Facebook page, we've got a website. Our web address is www.etv.lk. Everything you need to know about Power Women is on there, so don't forget to take a look at it. And we will see you again next week with another fascinating guest. So until then, goodbye. Thank you very much.